Done. Okay, now it should be working. So hello everyone, if anyone is watching, because I took a break for a really long time from YouTube. I had a lot of stuff to do. And now I finally am back to finish or to continue the challenge. So yeah, I will be doing this demon today. And I have no idea how long I have been off, but we will see how it will go. So right from the start, because the last time I have seen this was quite some time ago, there are some things that I would like to rework. Mostly the angle of the axe seems to be a bit weird, and also the legs that will forever haunt me. But let's start with the axe. I feel it should be a bit flatter, and this should do the trick, and a bit bigger because axes need to be big. So okay, so in here we have like the basic stuff, and I don't really like the abdominal area. It looks kind of weird, like there is no mass in the abdominal area. So let me quickly grab a color and let's just draw him. So yeah. And yeah, so basically what I have been up to, like recently for like a past month or something like this, was from switching from freelance to full-time actually. And it is extremely cool, like the team where I got in Share Creators is extremely talented. Like the amount of skill these guys have is like amazing. It's crazy good. And I have learned a lot of cool new things. So hopefully, maybe somehow I will be able to like utilize them in this challenge or something like this. So yeah, this is pretty much all I have been doing. So like tons of work, like literally tons of work, but a really cool work. I really feel like I am learning something new. And yeah, I guess less talking, much painting. So what I want to make with this guy is to pretty much start rendering him, because more or less he is like finished in terms of like line art. So I don't think I will be like painting much more of him. Let me like get rid of everything that is happening in here. And also, if anyone has any questions, if there's like anyone in here at the moment, feel free to ask any questions whatsoever. Maybe I will be able to like help you with something, or if you have like any type of a piece that you would like to get a critique on, feel free to send it in here. So maybe I will be able to like help you with something. So yeah. And yeah, this is pretty much all that I have to say. From other cool, really cool things, today I was out also for a while to buy a beer, because they had this cool promotion where you like pay for 10 and you get 20 beers. So I got like a really huge stack of beers for soon a party on a beach. So yeah, cool stuff are happening in here. And it's also really funny because, as I said, I went full time. It's also kind of funny to like work full time because it kind of like scrapped me off the possibility to like work whenever I feel like working or whenever I want. I just constantly get stuff to do, which is really cool because like the projects I'm working on are extremely cool. And yeah, but it's kind of weird after like 7 years or something like this to like go full time after like years and years of freelancing. So this is a weird change, but definitely a welcomed one. So yeah. And also soon I will stop, like officially stop teaching. at the school I have been teaching for like 7 years. I mean, officially I already stopped, but I will only like finish my group that I have right now, which is also kind of weird because like I spent like basically 1/4 of my life in there. So this definitely is like a really huge change of things. For the first time in like 7 years, I will actually have free weekends. What is kind of new to me because usually I was working at weekends in this school, which is kind of crazy that, for example, I can just wake up on Sunday or Saturday whenever I want, and I do not have to like go to work. I can like work on my personal stuff or finally like meet people at weekends. And at Fridays, what is also really cool, I do not have to stress about like going out to party with my friends because I know I can sleep for whatever, however long I want. Like, I mean, I will be able to. When my students finally pass all the exams and everything, what is kinda cool. And the thing also with the YouTube channel, I guess now I have a little bit less time to like properly like lead a YouTube channel. Like it's kind of funny how much time I could spend on it when I was like working on freelance. Now I kind of feel like the week is like really way too short. So it kind of puts in perspective how much free time I had actually. And on one hand it's cool, on the second hand it's not cool because I see how much more I could have been painting and drawing. I think this is like the proper usage of like time like could have been. I don't know. Does not really matter that much. But yeah, now it's like basically drawing and painting every single day. And it's extremely cool. So yeah. And for this guy, I don't know. I am not sure what type of a style I will go with this one. I think I will kind of like go away from the style I was working in, or like maybe not in a style, from the method. Oh, hello, Artbeck. I actually just finished talking about it to like the empty space. I have been making a transition from freelance to full time, and basically I was trying to like to switch from like working whenever I want to working when I need to work. So this is basically everything that I have done for like the past like pretty much a month, almost a month. So I was like finishing with every single freelance stuff to just close everything, to finish every single commission that I have, to be able to fully focus on the full-time job. What is, yeah, this is pretty much what I have been doing. So yeah, this is it. And yeah, at some point, because I thought it was like 2 weeks or something like this, it almost like a month when I was like last live streaming. So I kind of felt like I'm kind of missing this, doing this stuff. But also again, like I have so much work that I don't really feel sometimes like painting. I was just getting accustomed to everything. But now when I kind of found my pace of work and everything, I feel like going back to like regularly streaming. And I have this challenge to finish. I was so naive that I thought I will finish this one to like June, to the start of June, and I am in 1/4 of the entire challenge, and it's almost half a year have passed. So yeah. So now I will just finish this fella. blocking the mind shape is like always the most boring part of painting anything. But soon I will be over with it. And I will be able to render this fella nicely, hopefully. And I wrote this is like a part 2 out of 2 with this guy, but honestly I don't see finishing him in 2 hours. So most likely this is like a part 2 out of, I have no idea, 3 maybe, 4? Something like this. Hopefully I don't like randomize the same type of a monster next. I kind of feel like if I manage to finish him, or if I manage to be close to finishing him, I still will like randomize today what I want to, what I will be painting like next, because I kind of feel the next one will be a Steel Lord or like any type of a knight, like one of the cool knights. So I kind of want to see if my prediction is right. Hopefully it is, because I really feel like painting some knights and everything, and also full of really cool stuff that I will be working on, like personally soon, is actually a dream that I had today, because it was really like really weird, really crazy. But long story short, it was something like hunting monsters and whatever, and one of the monsters like tricked me and made me open a portal, and it turns out it was a demon, and the demon that tricked me was Samuel, like the god of death, I believe, and he made me open a portal where I freed him to the world, and then we had to like fight. And it had really cool visuals, like really abstract type of landscapes and everything, and I really dig the idea how it was like looking and everything. Like the general vibe of the dream was extremely cool, and I made some notes. I searched for some references to like not forget it, because it was a really interesting dream, and I feel it will allow me to make like one or maybe several pieces in this setup, and it might look actually kind of cool. So yeah, this is and boom, the shape is blocked. So now let's like only colorize the horns and all the metal parts and whatever, so I have like a clear understanding of what is what. I kind of feel like making the axe like made out of bone, but I guess it should be like metal, because axes are metal. This small horn is in here, and in here there should be like a gap. Yeah. And also from other interesting thing, or maybe not that interesting, but like something that I found an interest in, is I started playing chess, and chess are extremely fucking cool. Like I still suck at playing chess, but man, this is cool. If I will be done with Diablo 1, then I wanted to go to Diablo 2, but they kind of, like when I thought about this whole project, I think they still have not announced the Diablo remaster yet, and now they did, so I don't really see much sense in like working on monsters from Diablo 2, because like it has already been done. So I don't know, maybe I will like start working on some like personal designs or something like this, and I will show like the process, how I designed them and everything. So kind of like interactive type of a thingy where I will like design something, maybe not necessarily with the viewers, but I will show like how I just approach design, so it will be like a free some sort of a tutorial, I guess, like free step by step, because basically out of like one project, I believe you could make like 20 videos about like designing, exploring, drawing, ortals, modeling, preparing files, whatever and whatever. So I think there is like a lot of different things I could do. And also, if I will look like I'm in pain, I'm kinda because they finally opened the gyms in Poland. They were closed for like a year, I guess. Maybe they reopened them like for a short period of time, but they closed them really soon. And I went to the gym, and now every single thing hurts. Like everything hurts. So if I look that something is hurting me, it is. Everything hurts. So yeah. So don't worry about me if you would think about worrying about me. I guess I will manage. But it's really cool that they have reopened the gyms finally, because I finally get to move. I started to like feel the fact that I was not really moving that much. I was jogging for like running, jogging, something like this for like a short period of time, like 10 times maybe top total. But I really felt that it started to affect the way I feel, like after a year of not moving. So I'm more than happy that they finally reopened everything. So it's really cool. And also it's kind of funny. It's like really humbling experience, because I thought, okay, after a year, maybe I will be able to like work out with like maybe 75% of the weight that I used to work out with. And it turns out it's barely like, it's around 50%. So like I'm much weaker than I expected to be. But it's kind of cool, like to have like a really fresh start. I really look forward to like experience working out again. So yeah, it is cool. And now when we have like this mofo, stop flickering. When we have like this mofo selected, I guess I will make him a bit brighter, so I actually can like lay down some shadows and lay down some lights. So I won't only like add light to it. Yeah, the black is like 44%. So basically this is like a middle tone. So it will be a bit easier for me to like do everything. The rest of the colors is okay. I kind of feel like I should make some like this yellowy bony stuff go through the red wings, and most likely I will do just this, but with a different brush. So I feel like this is kinda a thing that will really pull out the wings, because like the skin on the bones, I expect it to be like a bit thinner, or to like not be in there actually pretty much at all. So it kind of makes sense that the color should like go through a bit. Do I want to mask line art? I do, but I also want to keep like a backup. Line art backup. So green lock, disappear, be gone. Okay, let's connect everything, and now it's time to like define the light and shadow. So as always, we have like a white light source. So I will take like a darker gray, and I will simply like set it to multiply on like lowered opacity. If you have like long story short, if you have white light source, like a really white light source, the shadows basically will be black. They will be like really dark. They will be closer to, basically they won't have any color to them. If you have like a really strong blue, light source. So for example, when you are outside in the summer, basically the sky is like a giant skybox. So it will color the shadows, it will make them bluish. So if you have like a red lamp, then the shadows will be like really dark red. They will look black, but they actually will be red. And what the hell is wrong with this program that it is already froze? Yeah, Photoshop. So yeah, this is like the basic idea. Now I just saved it. Here's the roulette. I need to reopen the file. Oh no, I don't have to. Okay, because magically it started working again. Thanks, Adobe. So yeah. So this is like the way to approach color. Since I am like painting him outside, I can always like change the color of like a light source. Maybe I will make actually him to stand like out in some sort of like a desert or whatever. So I will have like the information about the environment and whatnot. But I will see. I can always like recolorize this layer with a shadow. This is also why it's nice to work with layers. It gives you like more possibilities to work on. Like it will make the work easier basically. So yeah, the entire like axe is in the shadow. With the axe it will actually like mostly reflect light from the ground, so it should be colored a bit, but not that much. But yeah. I also kind of want to be a little bit more loose with it. So the basic idea is also if I were to like really try to work properly with the layer, the multiply like now is like one colored, and in the areas like for example in here in the armpit, I should like select the red color, kind of paint a little bit more with the red color, because like the light is like shining on the red skin, it's reflecting the light, it's like lighting up the entire silhouette. With not the entire silhouette, this like small area with the red light, which makes basically the red appear a little bit more red. But I don't feel like doing it. I feel more like just kind of casually approaching this guy and just trying to render him nice. So I don't really want to go like too deep with all the layers and whatnot. And also it kinda, this idea for like this approach kinda comes with a bit of the experience that I managed to get while working, because they basically like, okay, tricks are tricks, but if you can paint something, then you are much better. Like it's way easier if you actually just can paint something and not rely on all the tricks and whatnot. So if now I have the occasion to just paint, to just practice painting, I will try to do so, because it will make my life easier. And if something is making my life easier, I like it. I dig it, I like it, it's cool. So yeah, like the basic shadow, I would say, is why it is not painting, is there. Let's now make some like rough light. Actually, I really like the lighting that this guy has on this like sprite. So I might just steal it. I will just take color dodge, screen, a bit of a lesser fill, and I will just like go over him and make this layer only ignore the darker spots, so it won't actually go over the shadows that I have already established. I could also like just place this layer underneath and it will also be fine, but yeah, this will be finer. So basically the light source, like since I am using the light, the screen layer, it basically tells this layer that the light source is slightly pinkish, which is okay because, for example, on the horns you will get like this small change of the hue, what is completely okay, what is completely fine. So yeah, it is okay. And the wings in here. Really cool stuff you can do with wings is when you have this so-called subsurface scattering. Like since I'm using the light, well, screen layer, and my YouTube is working. Subsurface scattering wings. So if you have, maybe I will even try to like introduce something like this, but I will need some sort of a like colored layer to do so. But the basic idea is like since this is wings and they are like thin and you can see like blood flowing through them, they get really like red, orangish and everything. Like the light just shines through them. And actually there is something like in here. I have no idea what movie this is, but as you can see, this is actually a really neat reference for this fella. So in my use it. But there is this really cool painting done by Chase Stone, and Chase Stone is actually a madman in terms of painting. Like he can do magic with his paints, but where is the... Oh, here it is. So in here... Why this is so ugly? Hydra. Okay, now I have this in a good quality. Whoops. Let me just place it in here. So as you can see in here you have like this crazy good painting, and it is basically like a subsurface scattering. So you have like this flop of a skin, the light comes from like the top left from the back, the Fresnel effect, I guess the Fresnel effect, like this rim light, let's say, is like making everything like really white and really saturated, and these guys get like this beautiful orange hue on them, which is kind of cool. And also this is why I kind of feel like I should actually give some sort of a backdrop for this guy. I should paint him in like an environment. So magma cave. Do we have some sort of a like environment that would fit this guy? Magma cave seems nice. I don't want to use anyone's work, but vast majority of the things that are in here are actually artworks. Active volcano. Nah. Oh, Iceland volcano, because recently it like exploded and stuff. So I kind of feel this will be like a good background. So let's say we will just use this fella as a background. I will just blur it, box blur it, so I don't focus really on the details. I just want to get like the light information. I will make it slightly darker, like adjust it. Yeah, and you like instantly can see that I actually need to like recolorize everything. So I want to make him fit the environment he's in. So the shadow actually should be a bit more like bluish, something along these lines, maybe a little bit more saturated. The entire red, the light source should actually be colorized, should actually be a bit brighter, maybe not brighter. Let's start with like a color, so maybe with like this also bluish hue. a little bit of a purplish hue. Just place it on normal first. We can also block the entire thing and just paint over it. So I just blocked the alpha channel on it, and I just took the color from the light source, what is the sky, and now I will place it on a like screen, and now it looks a bit odd. What is okay, what is fine. Current layer. Let me open Streamlabs, yeah. Let me just paint on this fella for a while. And I kind of feel I want to add like this strong light on top of him. I really dig it. It should be in here. So I will take like this white and I will simply like just boom, go in here with it. So linear dodge. I want him to like have this like light on top of him on the edge. So it basically looks like the light actually is like shining on him. And it's maybe not the nicest example of how to do this, but I just want to like really roughly like make a note kinda almost of this type of a light on him. It's really easy to like overdo it. Recently even like the meme about the rim light is like going everywhere and artists like overusing it, so I kinda want to go a little bit more like subtle with it. But if I kinda overdo it, fine. I kinda want to get rid of this fella. I don't want this red helicopter to distract me. So let me just remove him. And you should go under. Jesus Christ, Photoshop is shit recently. I have no idea on how many streams I have said it already. It's like problem on top of a problem. Nothing works. Everything crashes. It's hell. Now it like froze completely. Photoshop, why are you useless? And it's not responding. Great. Let me print screen him at least. So maybe I will just like copy and paste him. Yeah, but I have to kill Photoshop. And don't get your shit together. Okay. Wait, I need to go back to the start soon screen. And I need to reopen the document because Photoshop is trash. It's kind of crazy they can go away with like so much shit they are doing. Like they make you pay for this thing. And thanks God we have saved. I made the screenshot because, as you can see, the Photoshop decided to like just remove everything, because why should you like keep it? So yeah, let me just find the where are the Diablo roulette. It's in the live stream casual, Diablo roulette. Yeah, so let me just open. I can't believe that Adobe like is so terribly bad. Let me just try to like match this guy. Like I really used to be like a, maybe not a fan, but I kinda used to like how to say it, defend them, that Adobe is cool, that this is like the best program, but for the past year or so they are going down like extremely bad. They are going turbo bad. This is a different picture I have in the background, but I guess it's a bit better. Or let me maybe just take this area, filter, blur, box blur, so I can like adjust it a bit more. No, this is the same picture. What? Whoa, I pasted it and I have not seen the helicopter. I thought this is a different picture. I entirely missed the helicopter. Next monster, next monster, next monster, save, save, boom. Okay. Also, the relatively cool thing about like doing this way, like recovering the destroyed file, is now the quality of the drawing and the lines and everything is a bit lower, which is kind of fine. I kind of like this effect, to be honest, that you work on something that is a bit lower on the quality standpoint. It's okay, I feel, I guess. But now let me just reopen the references because Adobe sucks. Yeah, and now if I will manage to find, I managed to do so. To redo the references. So boom and boom. We have our demon. Let me make the environment bigger. And let me get rid of this guy again. And I have no idea like why they just can't work on their program and actually make it stable. Like everyone is so pissed about it that like virtually nothing is working as it should. Like everyone is mad about it. And they keep adding like new stuff no one really wants or no one really needs. They just keep like adding and adding, and no one is using most of this stuff. Okay, some of this stuff is actually cool, but how much cooler it would be if they would just like work on like the things that matter, like on the stability type of a thingy. Also, what I heard, like, and it turns out to be true, Adobe is unable to utilize more than one graphic card. At least it was not. I don't think it is. But it is bad if it's not able to like utilize more than one graphic card. Because imagine you like really bought expensive set, like really expensive cards and everything. Like you have, I don't know, 3 RTXs, with what basically means nowadays you are like extremely wealthy if you look like on the prices of the graphic cards and everything, and you still, nah, you can't use it. It's like, okay, fuck me too, I guess. So yeah, let me like recolor this guy, and now I kind of want to make the shadows a bit more saturated, so I will increase the saturation, paint in here with more saturated colors, and just go with the layer of the saturation. So it should increase the saturation. And does it depend? No, it does not depend. I just chose the saturation. So I want this fella to be a bit more saturated. And I want to get rid of like this magenta hue because it's not really needed. It's not really desired. So I just want to increase the red. And yeah. Yeah, so basically this is it. And the last thing to do is to make him darker on the bottom. Not really much, but just a bit. So he feels a little bit more 3D this way. Yep, just like in here. And a bit more on the hoofs. Not that much. So this way, naturally, on the top he is a bit brighter, and on the bottom he is not bright. No, on the bottom he is not brighter. Yeah, and also this is why I highly doubt I will be able to finish this guy in like next hour, because I have been streaming for like 40 minutes already, and I have done pretty much nothing. So yeah, this is how it goes. This brush is kinda nice. Increased opacity. What else can I say? Maybe a bit on the team that I am working in. Our art director is absolutely like a madman. Like the quality of work he's producing is like outstanding. I have no idea how much I can tell, so I guess I will just limit like everything to like the bare minimum in terms of like the informations and whatnot. Because as I said, I need to ask a bit of questions like when I can like actually talk about anything, like about the projects I'm working on and yada yada and everything. But I knew there are good like people in some teams. Like there are some artists are like good, but goddamn, this guy is on the completely another level. There was some sort of a sound from Twitch. I don't know what this sound was, so if it means someone followed, thank you. If it does not, thank you. It was a sound of something. But yeah. Also, the cool part with working on the low res, actually, if this was textured a bit better, then working on a low res is fun because you really easily can add. I actually want this to be shadows, to burn shadows. You can really easily add sharp edges to like soft edges, and the moment when you like combine soft edges with sharp edges, the thing immediately starts to look better. So this is kind of like a cheap way, I would say, of like achieving good results. It's like working a little bit more with like a low res stuff. I don't not necessarily think this guy should have like this orange eyes. I don't feel this color is right. Green is kind of cool actually. I feel more like this like red. This evil red.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Yeah, this could be a widget. The follow. I had these widgets and I wanted to turn them off, and I need to adjust them because I thought it will be cool to like hear how Deckard Kane. Thanks you, Lemonade, I guess. I thought it will be cool to hear like Deckard Kane is saying like, stay a while and listen every time someone follows. But the first time as I said, like maybe someone heard about it from like the previous streams, I got trolled. Like someone made like a fake follow, fake donations or whatever. After hearing it for like third or fourth time, I was like, Jesus Christ, how annoying this guy is when he's like talking, hello my friend, stay a while and listen, like 10 times in a row. So I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of this like sound because it actually is extremely annoying. And I know some people, like some streamers, like this type of a thing to happen, like to have this sound. But I guess in the end, anything more than like a boop, like a beep, or whatever, will be too much for me. It is extremely distracting. So yeah. So let me try to render this fella. Actually, recently one of the projects I have been working on required from me to like kind of study the work of Adrian Smith. And oh my god, is like he is a god in terms of like render quality and everything. He is extremely crazy, but I was like really enjoying like working in the vibe of Adrian Smith. If someone like who is watching do not know who Adrian Smith is, first of all, like you should be ashamed. Second of all, you should really like follow Adrian Smith. The bigger a monster is in Diablo, the easier they are to kill. And absolutely not true in Diablo 1. The bigger the monster in Diablo 1 is, the more most likely it will fuck you up. In 3 maybe, yeah. In Diablo 2, depends. Maybe? Well, that just really depends, I would say. But in Diablo 1, definitely not. In Diablo 1, like, if the monster is huge, it means it is a bit, like, terrifying. It is a bit strong. So, yeah. I would say this is the truth in Dark Souls more. Because, okay, maybe not necessarily the monsters will be easy to kill in Dark Souls, if they are big. But most likely, if you like meet an enemy, if you meet a monster that is like human sized, then you know you have trouble. You are in trouble. Then you are really in danger. Every single monster that is like human sized in Dark Souls is extremely dangerous. So I would say like this is the case. Basically in Diablo everything is easy to kill if you think about it, like more or less. It's like hack and slash. It's like you just go in to kill like thousands of monsters. So it kinda is a stretch to say something is really hard to kill in Diablo. I mean there are, like in Diablo 3 I guess, there are these like rifts or whatever. I don't know, I don't play Diablo 3. I have like, I don't remember honestly. But sometimes it's like making something hard to kill just by giving it a lot of HP. It's kind of like a lazy way to like design a monster. Actually, when a friend of mine, Adrian Smith, Adrian Smith is like, it's like the god among the mortals in terms of artists. But you need to add Adrian Smith art because it is also a guitarist, heavy metal guitarist. So there are like two godlike Adrian Smith. Yeah. Hello, Jakub. I kinda miss like painting and drawing and talking. It would actually be really cool one day, not now, but one day maybe I will ask if there is some sort of a project that I could like stream while working on it. So maybe I will be able to like work on something like professionally, let's say, and stream the entire process. This will be like cool thing to do. Actually, I will just use some Adrian Smith reference. Adrian Smith Demon. Because the way he is rendering everything is really nice. And it is really easy to get a depression when you are like looking at his stuff, but the quality of the render he is doing is out of this world. So you can see how he approaches it. It's really nice, to put it simply. And this one actually, well, this one actually is kind of cool because it has like all this disgusting type of features. So when I am using references, this is also like a tip, um, a tip for you. If you are like using references, just like color pick how this someone is like making their colors. So as you can see, he is using like a really pale like red orange, and in the shadows you get much more saturated, something that is going a little bit more to the red. So in here, if I am using really, maybe not really, but relatively pale or pale reds, then in the shadows I actually should go with something that will be a little bit more, maybe not pinkish, maybe reddish. So the shadows should be much more saturated and much more red. And this is basically the way how you should study, or how you can study, maybe not should. This is like one of the methods to approach this type of stuff. But definitely if you are like using a reference like Adrian Smith or whatever, I mostly use it to just see how this someone is like achieving all the textures and everything. So like this is the thing that is really interesting for me. So for example, like right now, I felt it was like going like semi okay-ish in terms of like the face or whatever. Now I turned on Adrian references, and now I don't think it is going well anymore. But I can see how he's like applying colors and everything. So this is the way to go with it. And recently I kind of discovered I prefer to use like, you can see it, the dodge tool, but set on the mid tones and sometimes on protect tones. I kind of discovered it gives a little bit more like natural way for the colors to like be changed. So the mix between protect tones and don't protect tones gives like this really nice looking result that I really dig. It also makes some like blacks to get a bit like more grayish, but overall I really like the way it affects everything that is happening in here. And also the thing with the work of Adrian Smith is that I really like is the fact that he is not really using anything too crazy. Basically, a shadow is like just a dark saturated color, and I really dig the way he is like making all the shadows and everything. So I'm definitely, while trying to like emulate his stuff a bit, I will try to kind of like work in a similar manner to keep like the similar rules of everything that he does, because it just looks good. Like he proved it looks good, and there's like no need for me to like try to say it does not look good. I will just like take it and I will just use it because why not? I should actually. I need to have like the open color wheel. Unfortunately, you cannot see the color wheel, but now I have like a color wheel on my screen. Just to introduce a bit more color variations to like chest and everything. And the problem with guys like Adrian are everything they do looks cosmically good. It's not like they don't seem to be able to make like a bad piece. And this is what is like literally, in my opinion, is scary. They can't. make bad pieces. Even something that you can say, okay, this is the weaker piece, is still like a total banger, like a total killer in terms of equality. So yeah, it will be like a lot of back and forth with this guy, I feel. Especially since I kind of wanted to like keep the anatomy intact, but the other thing is I kind of want to loosen up a bit more with anatomy and everything, so I won't necessarily care that much if like a muscle has like a good shape or not. Like the general feeling should be there, but I won't really like care if something is off. But let me search for some more Adrian Smith art, some more references, so I can see like how he paints something that is actually like muscles. So I will be able to like copycat a good reference. Where is this something with a lot of muscles that is not black and white? This guy more or less is fine. I'm glad they put him on a transparent background. So yeah, now I can see how to do muscles 101. Also, this is relatively cool muscle reference. So as with everything, I'ma keep it. And on the bottom of the tits, since some of the light is reflecting from like the abdominal area, it will get a bit more reddish. This is also the type of a detail that I really dig, like this lighter space between like the tits, like this line, this tendon, I guess. This is really cool. He does it here. Again, darker, more saturated. So if color is like here, darker and more saturated, darker. And we do have the color for the shadow, for the face of this fella. And for like really deep shadows, darker and more saturated. So nothing too crazy in here. Hello, Xirtham. Hello. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive. This basically proves the fact that shadows are just saturated a lot. So yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to like work on this guy in a bit different manner than I used to on the previous guys. Because I felt like I won't enjoy like doing this pseudo like comic-y type of a stuff and everything. So I will be like going a little bit more with like this painterly type of a stuff. Just to like keep the enjoyment there. So yeah. Basically a full-time artist, concept artist, illustrator, designer, whoever I'm like they need at the moment. So yeah, basically the same stuff, but not on freelance. What is cool? I have to admit that working on freelance for so many years, now when I look back on it, I would not admit it when I was like actually working as a freelancer, like completely. It was tiring, like to like not be constant, like to like feel the constant need to search for the clients and everything. to like have this like small scare in your head that you need to have a client because like this month and this month like you don't have a client for this month or something like this. So this is what is extremely cool about full-time. So I don't have to worry about finding clients and whatnot. The spec look really off. It looks weird. It's like this area is way too long. I don't like it. I think I should move the entire... Yeah, it looks odd. It looks weird. Later I will ask someone to like make a paint over on top of it. So maybe I will like got some cool insight into it. And then also if you are an artist and you have like this peace of mind that you don't have to worry about finding clients, yada yada and whatsoever, it makes everything so much more like pleasant, pleasurable. Like it's so much easier to enjoy stuff. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, this is kind of true because officially I have never like searched for work. Like I only once sent a portfolio. Like I had like one go of sending a portfolios and everything to like some different studios because like 1 year ago I was like maybe I will try full-time somewhere in a studio. And only from like one studio they replied they are not hiring right now, but they were kind enough to tell me like if you will work on this and you will be interested in, like in a year because then we will be like hiring, then okay, feel free to send us the portfolio, we will like review it. And but yeah, oh nice, that's really cool, that's actually cool. And this is also the reason that I like streaming, so I'm really thankful that you found something interesting in here other than art. So it kind of proves that the live streams might be useful. But yeah, but for the clients, I always was lucky enough to like be in a position where I need a client and poof, magically I have a client. Like they just appeared almost in the right time, and just recently they started like appearing a little bit too often, I would say. So I was in this like kind of comfy position of like saying no to some clients because like I had no time, like actually physically I had no time to work on their stuff and everything. But yeah, it was like for like I don't know 2 or 3 months, and then like one studio offered me like a full-time and I was like hell yeah, let's go, let's actually go. What is cool, and the cool part is that I strongly believe from the team I am in, I am actually the weakest artist, like absolutely the weakest one. Like I am the weakest link, which is cool again because I have the biggest opportunity to learn something new, which is also like great. I always looked forward to like learning new stuff and being like the less skilled artist and just being able to even receive like a feedback from art directors and everything. It's like just good, just nice. Like getting feedback from friends, but the better part is you kind of feel obliged to like make something better. If, for example, like a friend give you a feedback, is of course really nice of him or her. It's always nice to like appreciate stuff like this because they use their personal time to like help you, but you don't really feel that obliged to like actually make use of it that much. You will use it most likely, or at least I always try to do so, but it's kind of a different level of feedback. I don't know how to say it. A different level of engagement, maybe something like this. I like this bony part in here. So yeah. Do muscles on a six-pack go vertically or horizontally? Six-pack muscles. They must go vertically. Because otherwise how would you bend? Yeah. I never actually think I have never seen a monster with like a vertical striation on abdominal muscles. I don't even think it's like you can get shredded pecs that you see like the striations and everything, but I don't think you actually can. You can get defined, really defined abdominal muscles, but I don't think it's even like possible to get like vertical like lining on it. I do have, but it is covered in like a layer of fat and other stuff. So the closest I was, like, I used to have a six-pack really back in the days, like really, really long time ago, when I was actually extremely skinny, because like really long time ago, I mean 15 years ago, when I had this like cool emo face and everything. Actually, it's not like really related to it, but it is the same period of time. I honestly would say, like, I had, I don't know, 10% of body fat or something like this. I am maybe not the tallest person on earth because I'm like 183. Yeah, 183 or something like this in centimeters. But the weight I had was around was like 50 kilograms or something like this. It was like borderline, like maybe not anorectic, but I was so skinny you can easily count ribs on like my body. It was like I could just stand straight and you will be able to see every single rib that I have. And it's not because I was like not eating or something like this. I was just always an extremely skinny guy. And only when I actually started working out, uh, things changed, because now I'm like 80 kilograms or something like this. So basically, I'm still not like massive or whatever. Like, I would not say that I am like huge or like that I'm a bodybuilder. And it always was kind of like funny for me, because like I really was for like some sort of a period of time attending to the gym like regularly and everything. And I thought I never saw any progress, but then it kind of struck me like, okay, you basically went from like 50 kilograms to like 80. So of course, a lot of it is fat, but still, it's okay. It is progress, I would say. Now I do take weight, but now I am also a little bit more aware of the things that I'm eating. And this might be a reason, but yeah, the basic idea is, when I thought I'm not making any progress, I was like, wait, you actually made like a extremely huge progress. So yeah, it's fine. Now I look like a normal human being. I don't look like I'm starving or whatever, which is also cool. Like, if someone wants to look like this, it's fine. But I was never really enjoying being like the skinniest guy. So, and also a really cool thing about going to the gym and like training is the fact that actually if you are like making a muscle sore for the first time ever, like you never made a muscle sore, now you have like sore muscles, you will instantly know how the muscle looks like and where it is. Because you will actually feel that the muscle is hurting you. And if the muscle is hurting you, it's okay, it's fine. You will learn how it looks like. Let me just grab big Rami legs because they are huge. And my monster also have huge legs. And this guy unfortunately have his legs hidden. And I always sucks in terms of like leg anatomy. So yeah, let's just go with it. Yeah, Big Ramy has crazy big legs. It's like, yeah, he is a Mr. Olympia, like the current champion. So it's like he's huge as fuck. He actually is massive. And the funny part is on some photos he looks like he is like 3 meters tall. But he actually is maybe slightly taller from me, or maybe or even the same height. It's really hard. I don't remember actually. I will need to check this one out. But he was way shorter than I thought he is. On the photos he looks like really huge. Yeah, basically if you go. Yeah, actually this is also a really cool reference for some monsters because like, come on. Like seriously. This guy is absolutely ripped. Actually, this is a really cool reference for myself, for me. So as you can see, a fantasy character in here that is like really heavily idealized by Adrian Smith is smaller than the actual living guy, which is kind of funny. So yeah, fantasy artists, you need to like try harder because like real life people are like are bigger than like fantasies. So yeah, this is a little bit more like realistic body type, I would say. It's definitely much easier to get this body type than to look like Big Ramy. Like sometimes I strongly believe if I don't know the demons from Warhammer were true, I would just become a demon of I don't know Nurgla maybe. I would just like be huge oozing with like some stuff. There will be tentacles and disgust everywhere, but yeah, it will be enough to be like a cool demon. But this is also kind of a funny thing. I have seen it recently in a movie, Gogol, which is actually a really cool movie. If you have not watched Gogol, definitely go to watch it. Really cool movie. I hate legs. I hate painting legs. I can't paint legs. Do I? Gogol. Let me write it. It sounds dumb. It's Russian movie from 2016, 2019, something like this. The first part is not so cool. The second part is really cool, really good. And I am still waiting to go for the third part. Let me open the anatomy atlas for the movie, for the legs. There is something in the legs that is just mind-boggling for me. How do I view this leg? Let me rotate it so you will be able. Like there's so much going on in the legs, like the ass and everything. All the tendons and stuff and shit and whatever. He's basically pointing forward a little bit more to the side. And the second leg is like this. Like this, like this. Yeah, basically, like, actually the name Google came from Gogol, like the actual Gogol, because Gogol is like this huge as number, and the fact and the story, as far as I remember, I might be lying right now, it kind of needs to be like double checked, but the guy who was like registering the company got it wrong. So like the Google, actually the name is a mistake, it should be Gogol, which is kind of funny, because the same thing I heard about Megadeth, the band, that it should be Megadeth, like Death, D-A-T-H, but it's D-A-T-H. So yeah. So maybe this guy was like exactly the same. They told him, okay, go register Google. He was Google, and he was like, I'm on it. And he messed this up, and now we have Google. Yeah, this part, the us part in here, this was I was missing. The small chunk of us from the side that is connecting in here to the pelvic area. And in here I want to have like this red because of the subsurface. Scattering and a bit brighter, boom, will light up the muscles in here. So it will like give a bit of a shine on the ass and on the leg. And it's kind of like a rim light, and the rim lights are always a good idea to add if you want to make something look cool. This muscle actually, like this quadricep, this tendon looks really funny sometimes in some bodybuilders. Like sometimes it's like really short line dividing this muscle into half, and sometimes this line is like basically going from top to the bottom, like giving the entire muscle look like there's like additional muscle in there. Yeah, I wonder if demons sweat, like if they actually, like if they can be too hot. Like this fat demon definitely sweats because he is like disgusting and everything. And sweating profusely is kind of disgusting. I wonder if like these ripped ass demons, if they are sweating. Okay, and let me take another reference. Of the abdominal area, because I am not necessarily willing to post like a naked reference with a dingling dong. Okay. I don't even think it's legal on YouTube to like post a dingling dong type of a thing in here. By accident, I sent these references to my girlfriend instead of to myself. So, oh no. What a terrifying mistake. Oh, also I got like a pec and a shoulder reference. Cool. Two things like cooked at the same time. Honestly, thanks. Honestly, now when I see how to approach them, like more from like this professional type of standpoint, like when I actually get feedback from like the seasoned professionals, I see how much room for improvement I do have. Like I got the idea that okay, I am okay. I am not nearly as good as I want to be, but only now when I actually like got some feedback from like all these madmans, now I see how much better all of this stuff could be. So most likely it won't happen because I'm not really about like removing old work and everything. I always liked like to leave old artworks for like other people to just see what I was doing like back in the days. But honestly, really gladly I would remove everything, almost everything from my Instagram, just to like make it look better in the future when they actually allow me to like post stuff that I'm working right now. This guy actually now kind of looks like he's just made out of muscle, like this, like these are the muscles without any type of a like tissue on them, which is kind of cool. Kind of want to soften him a bit. And the absolutely hardest area, which is the knee. That's really nice to hear. I'm glad it works this way, which is also kind of funny because I have noticed a trend, especially between like the friends of mine and everything that are like better artists than I am. Uh, like not subjectively speaking, like objectively speaking, they have like much more experience and everything, and they are just more seasoned and in all of this yada yada, all of this stuff. Like the you cannot argue with it better type of an artist from this like point of view. And vast majority of them is so humble. It's like it's stupid how humble they are. Like on their level, being this humble is like crazy. It's like weird. Like you shouldn't be this humble if you are like on this level. Which kinda made me think that because a lot of people were maybe okay, maybe not a lot, but quite some people were like complimenting on my art and everything. And I wonder how I would view my art if I would not be the one who created it, like what I will like really honestly think about it. It's like it's kind of like a really similar question to the idea of like meeting yourself and just talking with yourself. I always wondered if I would like myself as a person. I don't think it's prejudice. I'm not sure if I know this word. Like I know this word, but I don't remember honestly what does it mean. So yeah, but I feel that one of the things that is cool about some artists being like really humble is the fact that actually I think being humble and like thinking, okay, my work is okay, but it could be much better, is what actually a lot of guys, what pushes forward a lot of guys. For example, I know it is something that really pushes myself to work a bit more because I feel like okay, I need to improve because I'm not happy with the things that I'm doing right now. What actually is making my art better in a sense because it's like putting me in a space where I feel that I am not doing as good as I want to do. What is kind of fine. Prejudice. I definitely heard this word before, but I don't know if I have said something wrong, but yeah, I was like not saying about the dream and travel part of yours. Like this is really good and this is really fun and everything. Like it's okay. I have no idea if That's something that I don't know. I got kinda lost in a thought. I kinda go about the stuff of artists like being humble and everything. So if I said something that made you think that I am like not saying that it's okay what you are doing, then my bad, sorry. Or maybe I just like misunderstood something. But definitely it is okay. It is really cool to have this type of a passion. But also this is kind of interesting. How I would view art if I were not like an artist. No, people who say that imaginary is weird are boring as fuck. Like if you ever meet someone who has like complete lack of imagination, most likely you will never meet someone who is more boring than them. Like of course not everyone like needs to have like an extremely vivid imagination and everything, but absolute lack of imagination is the most boring thing on earth. Especially when you have someone who is like, ooh, how can you enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons? Like, how can you pretend that you are a character doing this and that? Immediately, I know I won't be talking to this person for a long period of time. Maybe if they are like really open-minded, if they are like willing to try it because they are like they just completely don't know it, then okay, then completely totally fine. But if someone is at the beginning, oh, it's stupid, then nah, I'm not talking with you for like a really long period of time. I mean, I'm not talking with you like whatsoever. But honestly, I never, okay, almost never met a person who was like completely without imagination. It's really hard to have someone without like total imagination. Okay, I got it, like the fantasy stuff and everything. It does not need to be like the thing that interests you. But yeah, saying it's stupid is stupid. So yeah, where do I have this? So there is this gap between the shoulder muscle and the pectoral muscle. And where the hell this guy would have this gap? Because his front delt, basically this is his front delt. Direction of the fibers is not really right. So in here, more or less, there will be like this small gap, this concave of muscles. And in here you will be able to actually see a bit of the collarbone. Here also a bit of it, so it will be a bit darker in here. And in here I want to have like this bony landmark really visible. Whoops. That's good. That's completely fine. Also, one of the things that I don't understand, like this actually is impossible for me to understand. How can someone do not like fantasy books? Like, what do you even read if you are not like reading fantasy? Like, okay, there are like many different genres and horror and everything, but okay, horror is a fantasy. Crime is a fantasy in a sense. Everything is a fantasy in a sense. But I can't imagine like reading a book longer than, I don't know, 100 pages that is not actually fantasy. It will be so painful for me. Like to just read a book about something. I would guess it it is kind of environmentally. Oh, I'm missing the word. Wait. Translate Google. Conditioned. Conditioned by the environment. So if you are like growing up in a certain environment, then it makes it easier for you to actually follow or like a certain stuff. So I guess this is like a huge part of this type of things. Yeah. Let's render a tail for a bit. And I want actually this shadow to be in here. And why something that was a dark shadow now is not a dark shadow? Because on the bottom part, he is darker. So the shadow needs to be darker. Yeah, but I can imagine like the actual psychology of what we like and why we like it must be really interesting. Because like, yeah, why do I like drawing undeads, for example? Like, by any means, I don't think I would enjoy. Like, I mean, I know I would not enjoy like looking at corpses or whatever. Sometimes when a friend of mine sends me some like crazy ass videos because he is like a healthcare worker, like the first aid type of a guy, and the thing that he is looking at is like mental for me. Sometimes I just want to puke. So for example, I have no idea why I like undeads. I just like zombies and everything. Why? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it will be okay. It is possible to like get this type of an interest when you are actually like an adult or whatever. Like maybe you just felt like you are missing something and you're just like rediscovering it. But as I said, it's like just conditioned by the environment when you are a kid, actually. Vast majority of times, not always, but I do believe basically. I mean, this is not like a rocket science to like rediscover for me now that if you liked something as a child, most likely you like it as an adult. But yeah, but sometimes it's not so obvious. Yeah, I mean, this is the same story why I'm like painting this right now. When I was like a kid, I was like playing for hours. I was playing a lot of Diablo 1. So it's completely not like I'm not sitting here like wondering, why do I like Diablo 1 this much? Like when I was a kid, I used to play the shit out of this game and I really enjoyed it. So now I paint it. It's like it's relatively understandable process, like train of thoughts. It makes sense. But yeah, that's true. To actually not enjoy something that you liked, you really liked as a kid or whatever, I guess some sort of a really heavy trauma needs to be involved. So you actually don't enjoy something, but it's yeah, in my case, like my father was like also playing Diablo 1. So like he was hugely a reason I played this game because my mother never she was like, okay, don't play these games, they are violent and whatever. And then I went to like that, can I play this game? Yes, son. And then I had nightmares, but I regret nothing. Diablo is cool. So yeah. Yeah, but also on the other hand, about the parent stuff and everything, is the fact that they were like kind of growing with those things. Because if the parent is like 40 up, 40 years old, going up, then basically they were like maturing with the cinema, with basically with like, yeah, with the cinema. They were like, this is the same period of time when it was like getting huge and everything. So I would say they even had a little bit more of possibilities to like get involved in it. In my age, because I am like 27 soon, it's a bit easier for me to like digest it because I was kind of born into it, but not, I was not like growing up with it. So yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, this is what I really like about being an artist, a designer, or whatever, is the fact that my job, not my job, my hobby, basically it requires me to constantly maintain this like kid, like this inner child in me that is kind of like, I just need to have this inner child that is like, whoa, this is a cool armor, whoa, this is a cool monster, whoa, I like this and that. And I feel it's really easy for me to get passionate about something, because like without it I think I will be just boring. Like, okay, this is like, oh, of course, in the end, this is like at the moment job, like every other job. Like, it is a work, it needs to be done, and yada yada and everything. But it's really hard for me to imagine another type of a job that requires you to like constantly fuel, like to constantly feed this inner child within you. What is cool, what in my opinion is really cool, because I would die if I, like, honestly, if I even think about working like behind a, okay, I'm sitting next to a desk basically all the time, but if I were to like sit behind the desk and have Excel on my screen and I were to just click the entire day for like some paperwork or whatever, I will actually commit down living. I would hate every second of this type of a job. Sometimes, okay, sometimes I do need to make some paperwork, sometimes, but usually it is dreadful. Like, I can't imagine like working like this. It would be like terrifying. But some people enjoy it, so more power to them. If someone is enjoying this type of a work, then yeah, in my eyes you are absolutely mental and crazy. But if you like it, fine. I won't like try to convince you that your life is boring. In my opinion, it would be like I would be bored with this type of a life. But whatever keeps you rolling. On the other hand, if I were to like work like this, but they will pay like extremely well, then most likely still I won't be doing this job, because I actually strongly believe that you should work where you really like. Like, you should never hate your job or whatever. So okay, this was like a bad argument, I did not think this through. But some people, like, I know, work like this. Like, they hate their job, but the job is so extremely fucking well paid, or it's just like the type of a job that is really hard to enjoy, that they just do it because, yeah, it's like some people, they just can go to a work and just not enjoy the work and just do their work and, yeah, just go out of the work. Some people have this ability. In my case, if something is not really working with me, if something is like not resonating with me nicely, no fucking way. No way I'm going to work in there for a long period of time. I don't like this thread. Control H, Control U. The yellow looks cool. I really like the blue. It shouldn't be blue. Like, demons do not have blue eyes and everything. It should be red. This is not the hue that I want. I think something a little bit more orangish. More saturated, like this orange type of a thing, like more flamey stuff without like this colorful thing is going on around. Okay. Also, one of the things that I really appreciate, like just changing the topic absolutely completely, like fully, about Adrian Smith artworks, is the fact that the things that he does up close look absolutely unfinished. They look messy. But if you actually look at them not up close, then you are like, okay, what is this fuckery? How did you do this? And he can like combine ugly dots and ugly like brush strokes and everything together so nicely that when you like zoom like up close, something is like, I have no idea what it is, like I don't know. But when you zoom out, it's like, okay, this is photorealistic type of a thing in here. How did you do this? Yeah, if you are a functioning adult and you don't have a hobby, like even the games, like if you even don't consider playing games a hobby, this is sad. This is really sad. In my opinion, this is like, okay, maybe you don't consider something a hobby that actually is a hobby. Sometimes I know these people, like some people just like watch TV and it can be a hobby, like to watch a TV, watch different programs, whatever. But for example, I wouldn't call this a hobby because it basically requires you nothing, like nothing requires. Watching TV requires nothing from you. Like you don't have to like think to watch TV. But some people do like watching TV and it is like their hobby. More like maybe a ritual, like a rite, daily routine or something like this. Maybe not a hobby. But yeah, if you are an adult and you don't have a hobby, in my opinion, your parents, in a sense, kind of failed because they failed to interest you, like to give you an interest to the world. And you should work on your hobbies, like you should search for them. But nowadays it's really hard to be like hobby-less. Like, there are so many things to do. Like going to the gym can be a hobby. It is a hobby. Basically, it is my hobby. Like if I would consider anything a hobby, like working out is a hobby for me. I'm not really good at it, but I enjoy it. And it is a hobby, and I will never do it professionally because it is a hobby. So this is like my hobby. And drawing is my hobby, but not really, but it is. But not really because it's also my work, so it's hard for work to be a hobby. But now it is a hobby. Yeah, I mean, but it's kind of also funny that some people don't really demand a lot from life. Like I am the type of a person that likes. It sounds stupid, but I like having like maybe not the most interesting type of a life, but to have like an interesting life maybe with some variety to it. There are people who just completely do not even feel the urge to do anything like interesting. So I can imagine that you are limited in terms of like having an interest in something, but it's hard for me to imagine to have zero interest in like anything. I mean, I also watch tons of YouTube as a hobby. Like, for example, I do enjoy playing chess. I suck at it, but I do enjoy it. Like, it's fun. Maybe I wouldn't say it's a hobby. Maybe it will be a hobby one day, or maybe I would say it is slowly becoming my hobby. But I also really enjoy like watching how other players are playing chess and when they are explaining what they are doing. So I would say it's not like not a TV, but it's a really enjoyable activity that I really like. And I kinda can, like looking from this perspective, I kinda can understand how some people can treat watching TV as a hobby. So, because I'm basically doing the same, but it's not a TV, and YouTube do not have like this negative bias to it as TV does. Because basically, if you like hear anything about the TV, is like at the moment, vast majority people who are like obsessively watching TV, you could say vast majority of them is not extremely bright. Maybe this is an overstatement because like I know a lot of people who like watch a lot of TV, but I say like really a lot, like obsessively a lot. It might be a bit of a like too strong of a statement, but the TV has this like negative bias to it that watching TV is bad and yada yada and everything. Watching YouTube for like 40 hours a week, no problem. It's like, of course, there are like tons of shit content on YouTube. Hopefully, this channel is not one of them, but maybe one day it will be considered it is a shit content or whatever. But if you tell someone that you are watching TV for 40 hours a week, they will think you are mental. If you would tell someone that, oh, and I was doing stuff and I was watching like YouTube for the entire week, I don't think it is met with the same like negative attitude to it. I would say watching YouTube is a bit easier to forgive, to be forgiven by some people. So, which is kind of like funny if you think about it. But now basically YouTube became a television. The only thing that changes is like you actually can upload there, and but there are like fuckload of ads exactly as in TV. Like you have ad on top of ad, and now even this channel, I strongly believe even on this live stream, maybe you had like an ad. It's not because I'm making any money of YouTube. It's because they made a policy where even if you are like not a partner of YouTube, they can display ads on your channel and fuck you. And yeah, we are displaying money on like ads on your channel. You are getting nothing from it, but we are getting money from the ad revenue. But you are not a partner, so you are getting nothing. And yeah, have a good day, sir. So this is basically YouTube in a nutshell, and I feel it will only go downhill. And it is also kind of funny because I see like vast majority of content creators on YouTube are shitting on YouTube, myself included. But yeah, this is what are you supposed to do if you are like a YouTuber, I guess. You shit into your nest. So hopefully the algorithm won't like take up on me by saying this. YouTube, please don't ban me. So yeah, I will stream for like, I don't know, 15 more minutes. I will finish the horns and I will like, I guess, stop doing this guy. Why these horns are blue? I want them to be like red. This blue is a nice hue, but I want them to be a little bit more bony. And if something is bony, it's red. Red and pink. Actually, this blue is nice as a complementary color to it, so I will leave it shining through. But I want more like saturated red, a bit brighter colors. this. Now I feel like I found a nice combination. Zoomed out. It looks decent. The colors a bit more like orangish in the light, so it's not like so dead. I have no idea if horns per se are alive, like as a bone, because like nails on fingers are not living tissue, I guess. I don't know, but I wonder if the horns are alive. Is this like a living bone? Because like bone, you have like a marrow, and it's alive. Do horns have marrow in them? I don't know. I will need to check this one up. This is interesting. Do horns, because like tusks definitely have something in them, because I had like a tusk of a boar, tusks of a boar, teeth of a boar, I don't know, like this spiky thing is this of a boar, and they had something in them, but do horns also have it? This is a mystery I will need to solve later. Oh, this is the color that I wanted. This yellowish type of a thingy. Without this magenta type of a thingy around. But also this magenta type of a thingy kind of works nicely for the face, so I might keep it. Oh, okay. Oh, this is exactly the tone I wanted. Again, mid-tones without protecting the value. But looking at this pace, if I am going to finish every single monster like this, like with this quality, goodbye in 2027 when I finally finish this challenge. But this is also a really cool thing about it. I do not have to like do it like now, right now. I can just enjoy the process and just work on it for as long as I feel that I need to. So this is completely cool. The expectations are low time-wise, and I won't surpass them. If I think I am slow with it, I will be even slower with it. Boom. Horns. Horns. The rim light is coming from the where? Left side, from the right side, from here. So it won't be as strong in here. This part actually will be in the shadow. Oh, this is not a horn, this is a horn. This is like a horn on a wing. This part will be in the shadow. Some reflected light in here. Yeah, basically this area will be covered. I guess this part will be in light also. So it will be a bit brighter. And also a really cool thing about chess is how dynamic this game can be. Like, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, I always knew chess are hard. Like, this is like arguably the hardest game on earth, like to master. Like, arguably, because it requires like a fuckload of like processing power in the brain. but I find it kinda interesting how amusing the chess can be, especially if you are like, if you never like watched any type of a chess. There is this channel, it's called Gotham Chess. I really enjoy the content that this guy is making, so if you're like going to like get interesting in chess, Gotham Chess is like the channel to go. Highlights, because I want some highlight, no midtones, highlights. So I want some highlights in here. On the actual horn. Highlight is really good to like add this, like maybe not finishing touches, but to add this like really bright touches of light and everything. And it is relatively okay to add it in like the deeper shadows, the self-cast shadows. So in here it should work like relatively well. The problem is, but the actually midtones will work better if I want to make like this area brighter, but not too bright, not like this. So I need to tone it down a bit to still make it look like it is like the below, but it is in the front a bit more. Kind of tricky area, like to show that it is below, but that the light is like reflecting for you, so you will actually see the geometry of it in a bit nicer manner. This part will be in the shadow actually, I believe, but I want this area to be like red, darker red, more saturated red, darker and even more saturated. At Magic the Gathering I was playing like for quite some time. I remember once when I was like, a friend of mine told me, oh, I spent so much like on cigarettes and everything, and I was like, hey, you're addicted, yada yada, and something, just like a casual talk of someone who like smokes. And then like, you're wasting so much money, I told him, I guess this was a friend of mine. And then I went to the shop and bought like the booster pack number, I have no idea which one, of New Phyrexia back then, because I was like making a poison deck. And then I was like, okay, the only difference is I'm not fucking up my health, but kinda am, because like I'm hunched over when I'm playing. And I'm basically spending exactly the same amount of money as them. But at least in the end I do have a nice cards with nice pictures on them. So yeah. And the shadow from the horn will be in here. Boy, this might be my favorite monster that I have ever done. I like it. I really like it. I can't wait to make a next stream to finish this fella, or to continue doing him. This is so cool. Highlights for the horn, for this horn in here. For the second time I thought this is the horn, but it's not. Okay, so let's see how this fella looks like. Oh my god, this hurts. Oh, the sore muscles. Oh, ow. Yeah, this will be all for today. It looks fine, it looks nice. I'm relatively happy with the outcome at the moment. Let's see what I think about it in a week. Maybe I will try to stream on Monday, but I don't know. If the feedback comes from the work, then no streams. Maybe on the weekends I will manage to stream some. but I guess I have to change the schedule to like streaming when I feel like to. So yeah, oh, my tits are hurting me. So yeah, this is it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for talking Zirtam Xirtam. I forgot how to like, pronounce it. And yeah, this is pretty much all. And see ya to the next time and goodbye.